Long title. Okay, you're done. Long title, but that's what we're doing. So, a lot of things should look familiar, like order of operations, right? It's in there as part of it because a few reasons. One, order of operations never goes away. I don't care what level of math you're using. Secondly, now we're specifically looking at algebraic expressions. So there's a little bit more going on than when you used order of operations before. So real quickly, order of operations are what? What's first? Raise your hand to tell me. Caleb, what's first thing?
It is
Parentheses. So even though it's P for parentheses, actually I'm going to write symbols. It's also in general, hold up, I'll get to the next one shortly. It's also in general any grouping symbols. So it really should be a G. I was actually, I don't remember what I was looking for. I guess, I don't know, it doesn't matter. But I was interested to hear that like other countries and other groups use something different than PEMDAS. They use, you know, I don't know, just different things because they concentrate on different parts rather than the parentheses. But grouping symbols in general, you have other things besides parentheses. Go ahead. You have those brackets. You have those brackets. You have absolute value bars. And you have a fraction bar. So while we saw most of those already in our order of operation problems, you will be seeing a lot more grouping things. Okay. What's next? Exponents. Whoops. That hasn't changed. What's next? Chloe? Multiplying and dividing. Keeping in mind, I wrote them on the same step. That's it. I know they're two different things, but remember they're on the same step. We just go from left to right when we have nothing but multiplying and dividing. And then lastly, everyone. So that should definitely be reviewed. We just have a lot more things thrown in. Okay? I guess that's all I want to say about that. Evaluating, this word before we move on is figuring out in order how to get the best answer. Evaluate is giving a value to. So we're going to see variables where we have to plug things in first as well, besides just use an order of operations. Okay, can I go on? Let's go with something I want to tell you about exponents. So in an exponent, in an exponential problem, you have the exponent, you have the base. That's the big number, right? How do we know what part the base is? Can you see the screen well If there are more than one piece, that doesn't sound right. If there are many pieces, if there is, there we have grammatically correct. If there is more than one piece to the base, and there aren't any parentheses, I'll write it first. Write it first, and I'll go over it. What's the matter? Are you writing it first? You wrote everything? I just finished. I didn't get finished.
That was, you're right, I love it.
It's magic. So we're used to something like 3 to the second power, right? And the answer to that is
9.
9. Because it's 3 times 3. One base, one exponent, easy to understand. If we have 3x and there's an exponent, that 2 doesn't go to the 3 because there's no parentheses that sticks it together. Okay, so this would be, actually, let me go back and make this a, whoops, go back and make this a number. It'll be easier to explain, I guess. Okay, so let's say you see this. Here I am, Kristen. What's the base of the 2? Well, even though it looks like this should be stuck together as one thing, this exponent only goes to the 4, right? For 2 reasons. One, you just told me a second ago that exponents come before multiplication. And secondly, there's no parentheses that sticks those 2 together. So if we were to work this out, it would be 3 times 4 times 4, which is 12 times 4 is 48. Okay? But if we had 3 times 4 in parentheses with the exponent outside it, that's a different thing. That should clearly look different to you because parentheses are saying you gotta do this first. So 3 times 4 is 12, then that squared is 144. 2 different answers. When we do exponential rules here in the future, near future, we're gonna see that a lot with the variables that I had up there first. So far so good? Okay, because when these pieces of the base, this piece could be, it could be another number, like I have here. It could be a variable, or what we're gonna do next. Sometimes it's the most confusing. It could be a negative sign. Okay, all of those are like something extra to the base that we have to be careful of. Were you not done? Was it right done?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, I'll finish like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, you still run?
You know you're leaving early?
We're in Illinois.
Okay, guys, so I assume you're done. So, Luz, one good thing, take, I'm gonna give you, sorry, people at home, I don't know how to pause my tape, so.
Oh. Are you
I can
videotaping?
edit it afterwards, but I can't, I don't know how to pause it on here.
Yes, often.
So,
Yeah.
I'll add you to this Google assignment, it'll have the notes on the video for you to finish, okay? And I'll add them to you when we the rest of the week. Hi, Liz. Okay, so this negative sign. They look similar, especially the bottom two, but they're not similar, they're not done the same way. Like we said, if there's no parentheses, well, there's no confusion there because we know the 2 goes with the 4. The 2's exponent goes with the 4 is the base. That doesn't look good. So the answer is 16, right? I'm gonna do this one next. This one, it's pretty clear that the parentheses are around the negative and the 4. And in fact, if I'm looking at this exponent, and I wanna know what it's next to a parentheses. So that indicates that 2 goes to everything inside it. So this one says negative 4 is the whole thing that's squared. So that's the thing that's multiplied by itself, and my answer would be 16. This one doesn't say that. There's no parentheses. Even though it looks like it's stuck to it, it's not. This says the opposite of 4 squared. Okay, because once again, if I go back to my order of operations, exponents comes before this symbol. Whether you want to see that symbol as a minus or times -1, whatever you understand a negative to be, even if it's just those words, this too goes with what's next to it. So this would be the opposite of 4 times 4. So the answer is -16. So in short, if you don't have parentheses around negative, it's always going to be negative as an answer. Okay, I'm going to write that down. Let's say don't